Hi, my name is Nathan. I'm from AAA Siding and Remodeling. I'm out here at the job site right now. I'm taking a look at a customer's house that is a potential reside due to some improper installation issues, and I wanted to show you a little bit about that today. So what that homeowner told me is that he ventured up into his attic pretty recently, and he went and checked all of his soffit baffles to see if there was light shining through. Well, there wasn't. So we normally have one of two things. They're either clogged with insulation, or when they went and installed those vented soffit, they did not cut the sheathing underneath it. So even though that CertainTeed vented soffit does look uniform and it's really pretty, it's not necessarily always going to work better depending on who installs it. There are a couple more items that you want to think about when you're installing James Hardie siding the correct way. One of them is, are you using that nail line, that guide line, to install them properly so they end up being tight and flush to the house? So we can see here that whenever the siding was originally installed, they did not use the correct nailing line and they didn't connect it to the studs. So now as the contractor that's being employed to come back and fix this, we're gonna have to take off the majority of this wall. I've got cracks about 80% of the time on those nail lines. This one is not on the nail line, but this is done because the piece was cut to the wrong length. So that kind of brings me to my third point here as to what to look out for whenever you're watching your James Hardie siding being installed. So the third thing that you want to look out for here is how your seams are being connected. What we want to do now is butt these two seams up together as tight as possible. Because after years, you can see this is what happens. All the way down the wall, the siding is flapping and it's not tight to the house. So in conclusion here, we want to make sure that our soffit has correct ventilation. We want to nail along the correct nailing line so that we don't get cracks in the future. And we want to make sure that these seams are nice and tight together. That way it looks finished and you're under warranty for years to come. We've got a beautiful house here in Gladstone that AAA Siding is installing James Hardie Iron Gray on, and I want to use this as a perfect example of what your soffit should look like underneath. Looking up underneath one of these soffit vents right here, we've got a beam on our left-hand side there, and then a nice wide open area for breathability in that attic. There's no insulation or no sheathing underneath this James Hardie panel that's obstructing our airflow. One more example for you all the way at the top. You can see that there's no insulation and no sheathing underneath that panel to obstruct our airflow. This is still the same house here, and even though it's not finished, I just want to show you that proper installation alleviates those other issues that we saw on the first house. If we look at how closely these seams are butted up against each other, this means that we're not going to have any sagging in the future. And if I come right up next to it and give her a little tug, that is nice and tight to the house. It's not going anywhere. Having a project manager on the job site every day or every other day is going to help us catch any of these issues that we come across really quickly and give the homeowner peace of mind. That's exactly what you're going to get at AAA.